last week, Akira Toriyama, creator of Dragon Ball and manga pioneer, dies at 68. This is an article from IGN written by Isaiah Colbert. Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball and the artist behind Dragon Quest, Chrono Trigger, and numerous other works, has died. He was 68. News of Toriyama's passing was made public by the official Dragon Ball Z Twitter account on March 7th. According to the statement, Toriyama died due to an acute subdural hematoma. Don't ask me what that is, but I'm sure it was...
It's when blood gets inside your skull.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And kind of balloons up. Like, a hematoma is like a big...
Okay. Because I was curious, because I was like, oh man, was this something that was was it one of those things like, oh yeah, it was, he was sick for a while, or was it a surprise? And so that kind of answers the question. It was kind of like sudden, like surprise.
Yeah, you're more susceptible to it with age, which probably is what happened to him. Yeah. But yeah,
it's sad.
It's not something that can, you have a history of.
Yeah, man, sad, so sad. It's our deep regret that he still had several works in the middle of creation with great enthusiasm. Also, he would have many more things to achieve, Bird Studio and Capsule Corporation Tokyo wrote in the tweet. However, he has left many manga titles and works of art to this world. Thanks to the support of so many people around the world, he has been able to continue his creative activities over 45 years. We hope that Akira Toriyama's unique world of creation continue to be loved by everyone for a long time to come. Toriyama first broke into the manga industry at the age of 23 when he entered an amateur manga creator contest in Kodansha's weekly shonen magazine. From there, Toriyama made a name for himself with the serialization of the beloved gag manga Dr. Slump in 1980. In 1984, Toriyama published the seminal fantasy action comedy shonen battle series Dragon Ball, which would later spawn the immensely popular Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super series. Dragon Ball's influence later inspired others like Eiichiro Oda.
The list is too long.
I can never say his name right. Eiichiro Oda, Tite Kubo, and
you're doing good.
Masashi Kishimoto to create One Piece, Bleach, Naruto, and classics. Toriyama also played an influential role in gaming history, his art serving as the basis for Dragon Quest, one of the very first console RPGs in Japan. In the mid-90s, Toriyama famously teamed with Dragon Quest creator Huji Hori and Final Fantasy creator Hironobu Sakaguchi to make Chrono Trigger, which is still considered one of the finest games ever made. The last project Toriyama was reportedly working on was the original character designs for the upcoming Dragon Ball Z spin-off series, Dragon Ball Daima. Its story follows the adventures of the chibi-stylized Goku and Vegeta's adventures in Dragon Ball's whimsical world. Sandland, a game based on another one of Toriyama's works, is due to release in April. During a panel in New York Comic-Con 2023, Daima executive producer Akio Iyoko told the crowd that Toriyama was deeply involved beyond his usual capacity, overseeing Daima's story, character design, and more. Additionally, Toriyama has planned entirely new episodes for the storyline, so please look forward to the start of the series, Iyoko said. Dragon Ball Daima is slated to release in the fall of 2024. What a absolute legend.
What a heartbreaker.
Yeah, man. Wild. He had an incredible career, a full life. Like, I'll give him that much. Still young. 68 seems young.
I was going to say, that still looked pretty young.
But, man, he did have an incredible 45-year career. Just everything that they listed there is legendary status. Like, banger after banger after banger. Like, I not one of those things they mentioned. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that was an iffy thing. Like, no, everything so far has been like, no, all the Dragon Quest games are like love. People love those games. All Chrono Trigger is one of the greatest games of all time. One of the top RPGs. Dragon Ball. I've never watched Dragon Ball myself, but like beloved by so many people. So crazy. Selks in the chat says Dragon Quest XI is the greatest RPG in my eyes. Yeah. So
I'm not gonna fight you on that one. I can't fight you on that one. That's a fair pick. Toriyama, I got so bummed out when I found out about this dude. I was bummed out for a few days.
Yeah.
I know my story's not unique at all, but if it were not for that man, I don't know how many life-changing stories and movies and games and series I would have missed out on had, you know, Dragon Ball not come on Toonami, and I hadn't seen it as a youngster, and kind of stepped my foot through the doorway of manga and anime and things of that nature. I don't think at all that it's an exaggeration to say that that man, as far as his impact, was probably one of the greatest artists, period. Not like of his time, not of, you know, the last 15, no, period. Like when word got out about him passing, it's still going to this day, or to right now, that it was on the 8th, right? It's the 11th. It's 3 days, and my timeline is still flooded with people who you would never suspect were into Toriyama's work, coming out expressing their condolences and talking about how much his work inspired them to do what they do or to make what they make. And I'm talking about people who do art, people who do music, anything. People who overcame illnesses were inspired. You know what? There's so many stories and memories and all this stuff created because of the things that he's made, right? So I don't think that there's any way that you can overstate the impact that he's had. And, you know, bringing it back to the realm of gaming, just like we were talking about, to be instrumental and to be part of what I describe as the 95 Chicago Bulls of video games, which is like, you know, the classic Jordan, Rodman, Pippen, you know, championship team, to create one of the greatest games, which is still considered to this day one of the greatest games ever made. And to just be like, yeah, that was a good game. You know, we made it. Not a big deal. And then go on from day one to design what would become the definitive style Bible for the Dragon Quest series. They still use they use him every time for every Dragon Quest game.
Yeah.
To do the design work. And that's what, over 36, 35 years ago now. And people the world over know what Dragon Quest is.
Yeah.
You know? It's just, man,
it's,
what a
seeing, I right there with you with like mentioned, like just the outpouring on social media. Celebrities and people pass away often every year. Like it happens a lot. There's a lot of people like, holy smokes, that person died. But I feel like a lot of times it's like a day or so and then it just fizzles out. This has been one of those people that it just blows my mind, the impact he had. And like you said, to this, like already 3-4 days in, and like people just keep sharing these just incredible stories, whether it's experiences, with his games, with his art, with his whatever it might be, and how it affected them.
That's artists that we revere, that we think are fantastic. They're all like, no, bro, he inspired me to do what I do. I think the way you think of me is how I think of him, and that's insane to me.
Yeah, so this whole thing, like, even though I didn't have a deep connection with him, like really I wasn't into Dragon Ball as a kid. Like my only experience really, and just recently, was Chrono Trigger, like, and I was blown away by that. You know, it's just like I already like had a very high opinion of him, and then to like, it's just been really neat to hear so many other people's stories and experiences and thoughts about this man. And I don't know, he's a legend. It's sad to see him go, especially in the midst of projects, like not to even see the final product of this thing. Man, like
that sucks.
New show coming out, new game coming out. But yeah, I just hope they can really nail it. You know, even without him there, and just
make it okay.
In his memory, you know, like I hope they just really just, all right, let's get this dialed in, and we're gonna knock out of the park for him. You know.
Dragon Quest 12 is going to be the last Dragon Quest that he's going to have a hand in. And I'm scared to finish that one, because now we're going to have a whole new hand in the design of the game might rapidly change, because now we're going to have to find somebody else. You would hope
it's just
not. Been him.
You would hope not, just because it was his DNA is so intertwined with everything in there. But yeah, you never know. It could
Yeah.
be completely drastically change next time. So yeah, sad news,
Yeah.
but thankful for all we did get from him, all his just
Exactly.
incredible art that he's just bettered the world with over the years. Thank you so much for watching that clip from our podcast. Remember, if you want to watch the whole episode, the full episode, link will be in the description below. You can click on that and check it out. We got listener questions. We got more news segments. We got what you playing. We got a lot of fun things. So yeah, more than just the news. There's a lot more to the show that you should go check out. So remember, click that link in the description. Check out that full episode.